In this video, I'm going to do two things that are usually not done at the same time. I'm going to tell you, as an employer, how you can save in recruitment costs, and in doing that, I'm also going to tell you how you can get better service. Let me start with an anecdote. I was having lunch a few months ago with a business owner that we'd worked with for about 6 years. When we first started working with him, he had a 400-person company. He had sold the company about 6 months ago, and at that time, we'd helped him grow to, I think, 1,200 people, nationally. In doing so, we'd filled about 25 jobs: VP HR, VP Marketing, VP Ops, multiple accounting jobs, multiple operations jobs. We had a very good relationship, though we really didn't talk much. We generally worked through his executives. But after he sold the company, like all business owners do, he went golfing, came back in the area and suggested we get together. And we talked about the work we'd done. He thanked us and all the normal stuff. And he said something that really struck a chord with me. He said, when we first started to interview vendors, I was very suspicious about working with you. And he said it was because we were by far the cheapest. Everyone else was talking to him about high percentage rates. And he kept expecting us to fail because we were the cheapest provider. And he kept waiting for a mistake. And he never got one in 6 years. And he flat out asked me, why do you charge so little? And I had to think about the answer. And the answer was because we're priced for a relationship. We're not priced for a transaction. And we work with him for 6 years. We take a lot of pride in that. And we build organizations. And let me distill this into a description of what we look for versus what other recruiting companies look for. Most recruiting companies that will approach you are usually contingency firms. And contingency firms are brokers. They collect people and they collect projects and they shake them all up. And the convenient matches fall through the sieve, and those are the ones they charge their 20, 25, or 30% for. Those are high fees. Now, the secret to that, though, is they only fill about 20% of the jobs that they get, which means 4 of the 5 that they get, they don't fill. They do some work on them, but they don't fill them. Now, what does that mean to you as an employer? If you're the one that they fill, your fee's got to be high because they subsidize the ones that they don't fill. How's that work out for you? What we look for are companies and situations where we know we can fill the job. Our completion rate's about 90%. That means we don't have any losers that you have to subsidize. How do we know whether we can fill the job? Because we look for companies that will talk to us, that will help us understand them, that will provide us the background data, that will give us the narrative so that we understand how to work with them, what they will expect from candidates, and how to present them to candidates. When we find employers like that, and employers who can give us multiple assignments over time, we develop relationships. We reward companies that give us relationships. We've had clients that we've been with for years, and candidly, 1 or 2 of them decades, where we've been able to drive their price of recruitment down to 15%, and in certain situations, as low as 10%. These are companies that have saved hundreds of thousands of dollars in recruiting. And because they've developed a relationship with us, they've gotten better service than they would from the higher priced contingency firms that are exclusively transaction oriented. This is a fact. We can document it. We can refer you to these companies if you're interested in exploring more, but don't be pigeonholed in how you think a recruiting firm should charge you. There are multiple ways to skin a cat, and we think we've found one that's good for companies that truly want a partner and want a vendor that they can count on. If you're interested in learning more, you know where to go. Right Recruiting, Blue Bell, Pennsylvania. Thank you.